to. We want to get into this now, and we want to start with Sami Ben Gharbia, who is from one of the countries that Ron mentioned, Tunisia, but he now lives in the Netherlands as a political refugee. He's the author of a blog called Fikra, is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, which means idea in Arabic. Fikra is censored in Tunisia, as are many websites. He's also advocacy director at Global Voices, which is a great website that brings together blogs from around the world. So, Sami, take it away.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I would like first to apologize for my English, which is a bit lost between Dutch and French, so I do my best to speak it well. I do not think that the Internet is a bad thing. Personally, it is thanks to the Internet that I'm here. It is thanks to the Internet that I got asylum in the Netherlands. And it is thanks to the Internet that I am working for Global Voices. But I do think that the Internet is a bad thing for two groups. The first one is composed of countries engaged in Internet censorship. And I think it is the most dangerous group because its members, the enemy of the Internet, are controlling the legislative and the executive and the judicial power. And they are using moral, ideological, and nationalistic and religious justification and excuse to muzzle the freedom of expression in Internet. And unfortunately, they are backed by multinational Internet company and local Internet service provider who are helping them to achieving this goal. The Internet is a bad thing for them because they are realizing that they are losing control of the information and they are trying to restrict its use, preventing millions of web pages from reaching the country's cyberspace and spending millions of dollars to control space submerged by bloggers, web community, and Internet users. And I think that each new development in the new information technology and each new easy-to-use tools that is being celebrated by netizens is making much more difficult for those who are thinking that the Internet is a bad thing. And it should be filtered and moderated. Video sharing sites like YouTube, Dailymotion, Google Video are being blocked in countries like Morocco, Tunisia, Iran, Pakistan, Thailand, India. Photo sharing sites like Flickr are being blocked in countries like Iran and United Arab Emirates. Search engines are being filtered or simply blocked in countries like China. Online maps like Google Earth and Google Maps are being blocked or photoshopped in countries like Israel, Bahrain, and Morocco. Blogging platforms like blogger.com or LiveJournal are being blocked in countries like Pakistan, Ethiopia, Morocco, Syria, and threatened to be blocked in Fiji, where they are deemed to be a threat to the national security by the military forces. Emails are being intercepted and scanned. Even SMS are being blocked during election in countries like Iran and Ethiopia. And to circumvent this tool and bypass the block, users need both courage and technical knowledge. Unfortunately, average Internet users don't have the activist and the technical skill, but they do have fear of being watched and persecuted, fear of being jailed and tortured. And I'm going here to talk about those victims, the second group who are, I think, thinking that the Internet is bad in a way. The members of the second group are the most vulnerable party in the equation because they are powerless and isolated individual confronting a powerful machine. And I will start with Tunisia, my country, where the Internet was a bad thing for the cyber dissident Zuhair Yahyawi, who spent 1.5 years in prison. The crime of Zuhair is to run a poll in his site asking the visitor whether Tunisia was a kingdom, a republic, a zoo, or a prison. Yeah, Zuhair was funny and very cynical and provocative, and the answer of the regime was prison. Zuhair got in jail, he spent 1.5 years in jail, and he was dead 18 months after his release from prison. The internet is also a bad thing for a group of Zerzi's 6 cyber dissidents in Tunisia who have been sentenced to heavy prison sentence for visiting blogged websites. They are 20 years old and they were sentenced to 20 years in prison. They were released in 2006 after a local and international campaign. The internet is also a bad thing for the youth of Kef, a group of 3 pupils who were criminal for downloading a song. It's incredible, but these guys were downloading an MP3 hip-hop song criticizing the brutality of the Tunisian police, and they were captured and sentenced. The internet is also a bad thing for the Tunisian prisoner Ramzi Batibi, who is arrested at the internet cafe where he worked. Ramzi sentenced to 4-year imprisonment for republishing a statement made by a terror group threatening to commit a terror attack if the former Prime Minister Ariel Sharon of Israel attended the Summit of International Society in Tunisia. It is also a bad thing for the Tunisian journalist and blogger Slim Boukhdir, who is continuously being harassed and assaulted by both plainclothes police and gangsters close to the family of the wife of the President Ben Ali. Slim was blogging about the responsibility of Tunisia's First Lady brother, Hossam Trabilsi, in the deadly concert stampede in Sfax, in which 7 young people were killed. And the internet is also a bad thing for the Tunisian journalist and blogger Mohamed Fourati, who has been in jail, who has not been in jail, who has been condemned in absentia to 13-month prison term because of 2 articles he wrote online. In other countries in Syria, where the most blogged sites are related to freedom of expression, human rights, ethnic minority, and opposition, on January 2007, the cyber dissident Ali Said al-Shihabi has been released after spending 5 months in detention. He was arrested for articles he wrote online, but 2 other activists still in jail, Muhannad Abdul Rahman and Habib Salah. And last year, Rukana Hamour, a Syrian blogger, mother of 3 kids, was taken from her home, dragged into the street after being threatened at gunpoint in front of her young children by security force. Her claim was blogging against the corruption. In Malaysia, 2 prominent bloggers, Khairuddin Attan and Jeff Oy, are facing a lawsuit for posts and comments published by others on their blog. In Egypt, the blogger Abdel Monam Mahmoud, a young activist from the Muslim Brotherhood, who has been arrested in April 2007 and released last Saturday. His crime reporting on torture and using blog as tools against transferring of civilians to the military tribunal. The internet is also a bad thing for the 22-year-old blogger Karim Amr, who is in jail for blogging against President Hosni Mubarak and Islam. In Fiji, the internet was also a bad thing for a prominent businessman arrested and released after 24 hours of custody because the Fijian military forces suspected him of being an anti-military blogger. And the Army Land Force commander is threatening to arrest 20 people who are linked to this freedom blogger in Fiji. And they are threatening to block the whole blogspot.com platform. In China, where 50 cyber dissidents are imprisoned for posting on the internet, another cyber dissident, Hai Long, member of the independent Chinese Pen Center, was sentenced to 6 years in prison. And here I would like to finish with a comparison between the anti-personal landmines that are being disseminated in country and war zone and between the filtering software. And I think that filtering software that are being designed and made available for undemocratic regime by Western company are like this anti-personal landmine, explosive device used to destroy our freedom to speech. And I think the victims that I've mentioned today are those who are risking their life and safety to clear this path to freedom. And the battle for freedom has another front, a much easier one. It is here in the West that we have to fight against those companies who are designing these softwares. Thank you very much.